Okay, welcome to the first episode of this channel. I don't know what to call this. Hopefully, it will be good. Okay, so I know I'm late for to be actually doing this. Playoffs has started of over a month. I don't know. It's already the second round, and yeah. So just a recap. First round, it was Boston and Philly, where Boston blew a 3-1 lead. Then then we have the New York and the Hawks series, where the Hawks actually gave New York a run for their money, but you know, I think we already know that the Knicks are just a better team, and the Hawks lack a lot of experience and a lot of talent. It was like CJ McCollum uh, and a lot of young and scrappy group of players. That's not gonna win you this time, but hopefully in the near future. Detroit and Magic. Was this a 3-1 comeback again? Yeah, I think it was. Oh man, Magic almost got Detroit. Almost got. I remember the Magic having maybe they're just hitting their shots and being more physical than Detroit, and then suddenly the Detroit made adjustments as JB Bickerstaff should, and they just completed the comeback. And then we have Cleveland and Raptors, where no away team won. It was always the home team winning, and it was a good series. But when it got to Game 7, especially in the third quarter, I guess, like the momentum really shifted to the Cavs, even though the Raptors really put up a really good fight. Well, alas, it was a a team effort for Cleveland, and they're just more experienced. Then to the west, we have OKC and the Suns. Yeah, OKC and the Suns. I think we already know how this is gonna go. Dylan Devon really um, made things interesting, at least made things entertaining for us. It was an entertaining sweep. That's what I'm gonna say. Rockets Lakers, the result of the Kevin Durant burner account issue. Their team chemistry is just god awful. It just looks like that they don't want to play with each other, or maybe basically they just don't want to play with KD. And the Lakers, they I guess they like each other. They they have a good leader, LeBron, and good team chemistry with even Luka Reeves. Even though they were not playing, everybody stepped up. Marcus Smart, Aiton, and Luke Kennard. Who needs Luka when you got Luke Kennard, right? And the next series, the Wolves Nuggets, where the Hospital Wolves shocked the Denver Nuggets, and I was actually uh, expecting that the Nuggets will be having a deep playoff run this year, because they answered, or they had a solution for their problems last year. No Jokic backup. They have Valanciunas didn't really play a lot, and they got rid of MPJ. But I guess Cam Johnson is not the answer. Is not the the replacement they were hoping for. And just it blew up in their face. And Jamal Murray just got clamped. I think that's just the story of his career right now. He's getting clamped by a lot of really great defenders, and you don't really see that before, especially in their championship run. I guess maybe the injuries are now getting to him, and they're getting older. How old is he anyway? Oh, he's still 29. Oh, he's still 29. But he's still 29. Maybe the injuries, I don't know. Not a doctor, just some guy here. And then the Trailblazers and the Spurs. Man, the Blazers won one game because Wemby was out with a concussion, right? Yeah, concussion. He hit his head on the floor. Then, yeah. So today's games were the Spurs Wolves and the sweep of the New York and Sixers series. Sixers, they're kind of like Wolves without the fight. You know, it's like, I mean, I'm not taking away, especially from what they accomplished in the first round, because they they fought like hell. But maybe it's just a matchup problem, especially they're a hobbled team, and the the roster. If you look up and down the roster, they have a lot of holes. It's not really a complete team, and I don't really know anyone who expected them to make a deep playoff run. So yeah, but those last two games wasn't just the last two games that they just got their ass whooped. I think that I think game three was kind of close, right? I forgot about game three, but today's game was really disappointing. And Philadelphia, their arena, it just filled up with Knicks fans, and it's almost like they're not playing in Philly. It's like they're still playing in New York. You can hear a lot of fans booing Joel Embiid, booing Tyrese Maxey, and yelling "Deuce" every time Deuce McBride shoots a three. Yeah, and still, I mean, at least we still have Cavs and the Pistons. They're having a good series, especially Game Three, where Harden and Cade went band for band, but I don't think you can rely on Harden to have that kind of game every game. I think we already know Harden's history in the playoffs, and this is one of those games which are outliers. I remember when he was in Philly. I think that was game 6 or game 5. Was it against Boston? Forgot about. But yeah, he was really trying. He really did his best and got a great game or two. But after that, he was invisible. He was non-existent in the court. And then we have the Lakers, OKC, already 3-0, man. Come on, man. Like, just leave the Lakers alone. All those complaining was from the Lakers side. Game 2, was it game 2 who that was very controversial in their eyes, like a lot of flopping, a lot of non-calls. Like, OKC defenders, they play physical, and they are gonna push you around, shove you, hand check you, and in their eyes, if you do the exact same thing to them, you're just gonna get called. You're just gonna get called a foul. You know, it's not it's not the same treatment for their opponents. I don't know. I'm really being positive that that's just not the case. You know, maybe a lot of human error. Yeah, sure, but just saying they have an agenda against anyone who's not named OKC or not named Shea Gilgis Alexander. You know, especially what happened last year in the playoffs. I was rooting for the Pacers since round one, and then they got to the finals. It's really heartbreaking. But hey, it was more about Halliburton's injury than the officiating of the games. So maybe it's just really how they play, and maybe refs could do a better job of distinguishing what are the fouls, what are physical play, you know, like maybe pushing and hand checking is allowed in the playoffs, like just like what we saw with Wolves and Spurs, where they they were pushing and shoving Castle, and Wemby was setting good picks. Everyone was crashing the floor. Yeah. Oh yeah, the ejection from Wemby. Wemby got ejected. They said maybe he will get suspended for the next game, but I don't think so. But that was a really bad. It was a bad thing to do. Yeah, yeah. Clearly, like you cannot just elbow someone. And when you, I guess a lot of people already saw what happened and saw the replay, the slow mo. When we look at Naz Reid for a moment and then just elbowed him in the throat. Ah man, if you play basketball, if you play competitive basketball, you know sometimes in the in the spur of, in the spur of the moment, is that right? Sorry, I'm not American. In the spur of the moment, you get flustered, you get angry, you get frustrated, and just try to protect the ball. You throw elbows, you move your head. You know, am I making sense? You know, you try to protect the ball. You just try to spin around, and I could understand if that was Wemby's goal, like to just spin around and protect the ball, but he saw Naz Reid for a moment, and he lifts his elbow and just chucks him in the throat. You know, well, I think this is gonna be a learning experience for Wemby. Like everyone's gonna be physical, especially against the star player, especially if the star player is 8 foot tall. So yeah, that's it. I think I've covered pretty much what I needed to cover. Hopefully, this channel is gonna stay alive. Has already tried other channels, and it did not work. Anyway, so that's it. Bye.